Good evening to all. In the previous video, we have seen about the introduction of food supply chain and its comparison with the sustainable supply chain. So now in this video, let us see few case studies, like a few industries or few concerns which the food supply chain is implemented effectively. So the first one is the McDonald's supply chain. So if we see the McDonald's supply chain here, so the food comes from McDonald's supply chain is very large and complex. So they have numerous direct suppliers that make or deliver final products for the restaurants. So they also have a large number of indirect suppliers, farms and facilities that grow and process the ingredient to direct suppliers. So McDonald's supply chains mainly concentrates on three things: direct supplier to their restaurants, indirect suppliers to their restaurants. From their restaurants, the food is handed over to the consumers. So the customers can take the food as per their interest. So the main advantage of McDonald's supply chain is transparency. Reputation problems are easily managed or handled by them. It is very consistent as it follows the global standards, and the recovery issues are very less in McDonald's supply chain. So this is another one, food supply chain from farm to fork. Okay, so this is what, so from the farm it goes through logistics, through the production unit, and then it is branding and packaging has been done, and it is again transported, transformed, and it is handed over to the customer. So supply chain excellence in food industry. So how an industry can be excelled in following supply chain concept is, uh, trust and halal integrity is very much essential, and the business growth and the brand value needs to be taken care by the top level people. So policy reviews, program evaluation, growth strategies, risk management and governance, operational diligence, and food trust culture assessment. And the another thing is supply chain excellence is also very much essential, as equal as the risk and resilience process. So both the things needs to be taken care in an equal pace. So the Halal Food Trust Advisory suggests some 7 steps or points which all the food industry should follow, like advising the governments and companies on enhancing the market access, and advising companies on developing a halal market strategy, and a tax incentive should be handled correctly, and diligence should be done properly, and the transformation from the production unit to the warehousing or the retailers, and the assessment of compliance after it reaches the customer. So this is the basic ecosystem of any supply chain, that is which we call as supply chain ecosystem. This is definitely followed by a good supply chain. So the food supply chains which are highly complex and which are very difficult to interact among the networks, where millions of small players are involved. So for all these things, the ecosystem, the supply chain ecosystem helps in a larger extent. Mhm. So this is called as a food supply chain ecosystem. So the same thing, so which we have seen in the previous slide. So that is expanded in stage by stage. So this is the inner core is the supply chain ecosystem. So food supply chain ecosystem. This is what we have seen in the previous slide. This is enhanced like this. So institutions, in the sense, these are all resources we can have. We can take the sources from these places, and service delivery can be done to these people. And service chain is comprising of these four, like supplier, farmer, food processing unit, packaging and distribution, retailer, restaurants, markets, and so on. So Mandi scenario, where which is called as the farmers market. So the APMC Act, which regulates mandis, was amended in many states, but the companies cannot buy but only can lease fertile land from the farmer. But the supply chain is as efficient as that of a mandi system. So the mandis remain more price competitive as well. So retailers sources from mandis instead of developing their own supply chains. So for this, the supply chain concept is very much followed in mandis scenario. So this is a retail supply chain where the supply and demand in retail sectors are being handled. So how the side is there, how the supply side is there, how the industries can bridge the inefficiency reasons, and so on. So the main thing to be concentrated are inconsistent policies, poor governance, improper transport facilities, and too many intermediaries within the supply chain network may result in poor retail supply chain. Right. So this is the distribution logistics in India. So traceability and transparency. Traditionally, it was followed. That is, traceability is followed, and now transparency is followed, which is very successful. And these are this slide shows the challenges and standardization of food supply chain. So from both the supply side and demand side, the challenges are being distributed here. So we have taken the example as pizza. So powerful tool improving supply chain efficiency enables partners better compatibility and interoperability of their system and so on. So next comes the cold chain, which is very exclusively used for dairy industries, dairy products. So dairy products will have to maintain the temperature with the utmost chillness. So based upon the nature of the product and the place the product is to be transported. So, a big gap in the food supply chain from the year 1965 to 2005, which are all eradicated or prevented to a larger extent with the help of the supply chain network in all implementation in all the food industry. So, the Food Safety Authority of India, FSSAI, it mainly recommends the food industries to follow the supply chain concept effectively. So thank you for watching this.